Testing, testing. Is this okay? All right.
Test, test. Is anybody else sweating? It's nice and cool down there. It's warmer up here. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. What a treat to be here tonight. In person. We're going to begin. In some ways, we've already welcomed Shabbat with Kiddush and lighting candles and having a lovely meal, thanks to Karen McAleer and her team. We're going to begin, we're going to jump right in on page 20 with Lecha Dodi. We are inviting our beloved to come with us to welcome the bride. And who's the bride? The bride is Shabbat. We're going to sing the first 3 verses on page 20, and then we're going to jump to the very last verse on page 21. And just like at any wedding, when the bride comes in, you stand up. When we get to the very last verse on page 21, we're going to stand up. We're going to face the door. We're going to welcome the Shabbat bride, the Shabbat Kala, in to our midst. I'm at the top of page 20. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Melech melucha, kumitei mitoch hafecha, rav lach shevet be'emek habacha, vehu yachmol alayichem la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzohala, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. You can take a deep breath. The week is over. We can rest into Shabbat. We're going to flip the page to Psalm 92. We're going to sing starting with the 3rd line in the Hebrew of Psalm 92. Then we're going to say the whole psalm in English, and then we're going to sing at the indent in the Hebrew. I'm on the third line. Oh, sorry, 22. Yeah, flip the page. 22. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Lehagid baboker chastecha. Lehagid baboker chastecha. Ve'emunatcha balelot. Ve'emunatcha balelot. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Together, a psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai. How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. Tzadika tamar yifrach kerez bavanon yizke shetulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva deshenim verananim yiyu lehagid ki ashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatavo. I hope that as we're singing this beautiful poetry, you're feeling a feeling of Shabbat settling into you. The point of this part of the service, which only happens on Friday night, is to help us transition from being out in the world, worried about everything, to being present, grounded, calm, accounted for. If you haven't breathed yet, you can go ahead and breathe. We're going to continue on page 24. If you're using the big prayer book, we're on page 142. I know that people on live stream may be using the big prayer book because that's the one I recommended people get. So we're on Shalom Aleichem on page 24 or 142. We're welcoming Shabbat angels to come and give us a blessing. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKai. Turn to page 26 or 144. We're saying the Chatzi Kaddish, the half Kaddish, and we're going into the evening service part of the service. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah v'alma dira chirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kariv b'meru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam u'lom me'omaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha brichu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Please rise for the call to prayer on page 28 or 146. Lie, la, 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 lie. Lie, la, 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 lie. Lie, la, 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 lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Barechu et Adonai hamivorach. Baruch Adonai hamivorach, hamivorach leolam vaed. Hamivorach, hamivorach leolam vaed. Flip the page to page 30 or 148. This is a blessing about creation. We are grateful for the cycles of day and night. Let's say, actually turn to 31, and let's say the blessing at the top of the page, on page 31 or 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai hamari varavim. Turn to page 33 or 151. This is a blessing about love. It's about a blessing about revelation. Let's say this together at the top of the page. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Flip the page to 34 or 152. This is a blessing. This isn't a blessing, it's a statement of faith. We believe that everything comes from the same source. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzadecha hayom alevavecha vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlachtecha b'derech uvshokbecha uvikumecha ukshartam laot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Let's turn to page 39 or 157. On the second half of the page, let's say this together. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Sinai we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 40 or 158. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar bakodesh, norati lo dosefele, norati lo osefele, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Let's continue with the English in the middle of the middle paragraph. Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Page 42 or 160. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Amen. I didn't know you didn't know this melody because it's in my head all the time. So we'll sing it again. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. us daily wrong from right. Oh, Adonai. You know this word? Amen. Amen, amen. Amen, amen. Amen. I guess this is the Hashkivenu that we sing on the live stream, and we're usually led by very, very gifted leaders when we, share their video. So I'll remember this for the next time we're live in person, and I'll make sure we all have the words and everything. We're continuing on page 44 or 162. This is the little note in the Torah that says that the children of Israel need to keep Shabbat. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beni uven b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. We turn now to the Amidah, the standing silent prayer, which we're going to start together out loud. On page 46 or 164, if you are able, I ask you to please rise. Adonai sivatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, yourself, either with the blessings in the prayer book until page 62, or the blessings and prayers of your own heart, or some combination. And when you're finished, you may be seated. If you are still davening, please continue at your own pace. We're going to continue at the bottom of 62 or 180. Aseh shalom bimromav, Yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol yoshvei tevel. We're turning our hearts and our attention to people who we know who are in need of healing. The prayer for healing is on page 253 or page 371. I'm going to say the names of people I know who are in need of healing, who we're going to include in our prayers tonight. If there are people that you want to include, I ask you to please rise. And as my eyes track around our space, you can say their names out loud and include them. We are praying for healing for Abby Labus, Frank Labus, Talia Naomi Bat Miriam Yehudit, Mary Jo Mazzarella, Dee Lazarus, Tom Brandeis, Maya Rack, Sylvia Rim, Sima Bat Rivka, Steve Cohen, Sandra Cohen, Ellen Goodworth, John Goodworth, Irwin Irv Lewis, Philip Bedrosian, Leslie Watillo, Flo Winokur, Chris Clappel, Michael Amantia, Kate Bingham, Paula Levy, Phil Bowley, Owen Ward, Diane Lamoureux, Don Lamoureux, David Selden, Zachary Umland, Amy Petrill, Adriana Lebavici, Rabbi Sally Prezand, Harav Sarah Bat Yisrael V'Shoshana. 253 or 371. Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu, mega source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May all who are in need of healing find perfect healing in body, mind, and soul. We're going to switch gears for a moment. It's the speaking part of the service. I'm going to speak. Rabbi Later is going to speak. It'll be very lovely. And then we'll finish up our service, just in case you're wondering how much longer is it going to be. Every night, between Passover and Shavuot, we count the days. Last night into today, we counted Hayom Yom Tisha Asar Yom Shehem Shnei Shavuot V'chamisha Yamim LaOmer Ba'omer. Today is 19 days, which is 2 weeks and 5 days of the Omer. Why do we count? I know you're asking that question in your head. We count because the Torah commands us to count 7 full weeks from the second day of Passover until Shavuot, which is the holiday that commemorates the giving of the Torah. But beyond the mitzvah of counting, the act of counting transforms time. It makes each day matter. It shapes the in-between into something sacred. In Spirat HaOmer, counting the Omer, we don't simply wait for revelation at Mount Sinai, which is what Shavuot is about. We prepare ourselves for it, one day at a time. Each night, the act of counting says, this day matters. It's not just a stop on the way to something more important. This day is holy too. This weekend, I will be officially installed as the rabbi of this congregation. A moment that in some ways maybe marks the culmination of a journey. But we all know this relationship between us didn't begin this weekend. We've already shared 1.5 years together. 1.5 years of prayer, study, conversation, illness, joy, heartbreak, laughter, and life cycle moments. Just like the days between Egypt and Sinai, the days we've spent together have been real, sacred. They've mattered. Just like the days between Egypt and Sinai, we're in this moment, but we're also excited to get to Sinai. And yet, there's something powerful about stopping to mark this moment, about saying, we are here. This is where our journey has taken us, and from here, we, all of us, commit to walking together. This installation sits in the context of a beautiful truth. Rabbis don't serve in isolation. We inherit communities shaped by those who came before us. Rabbi Leder's legacy is woven through the life of this congregation, and her continued presence as Rabbi Emerita, an active member, is a reflection of her love for Beth Israel, the West Temple. And while every new rabbinic relationship brings change, it also brings the opportunity to deepen what is already strong, to add new voices, new rhythms, and new shared experiences to the sacred story that we're writing together. Counting the Omer teaches us that becoming a people doesn't happen at once. Revelation isn't immediate, it's slow, relational. It requires time, trust, and openness. It requires counting the days and making those days count. In this way, counting the Omer is a metaphor for what it means to build a spiritual community. You can't shortcut your way to intimacy and trust. A rabbi doesn't become the rabbi the moment the ink is dry on the contract, and a congregation doesn't become my congregation simply because of my title or some ceremony. You and I become we one day at a time, through the big life cycle moments and through ordinary moments that don't always make it into the formal record. Our tradition says that when we counted the Omer on the way out of Egypt, we were counting up, not down. We were building something. That's how I see this installation weekend. It's not the end of waiting. It's a pause to say, look at what we've already created and imagine what we might build next. Hayom Yom, today is the day. It's one more day in our journey. And I have to say, I am so deeply honored to be on this journey with you. Shabbat Shalom. At this time, I would like to invite Rabbi Leder, Rabbi Emerita, to come forward. Rabbi Emerita.
Rabbi Emerita. Thank you, Rabbi Brown.
Do you want me to stand here or should I sit down?
If you'd like to stand, that's fine. But if you'd like to sit down and take a load off, that's fine too.
I'll sit down.
Okay. Oh, it's very nice to see you all this evening. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. For those who, well, I want to tell you that I am sharing some words of the Var Torah with you this evening from a rabbinic friend of mine, Rabbi Greg Schindler. And Greg has a wonderful way of looking at the world and has a great sense of humor. And so, hopefully you'll recognize that as well. For those who may be familiar with the rock opera Tommy by The Who, you might remember these famous lines. See me, feel me, touch me, heal me. And you might ask, what possible connection does this have to our Torah portion? The role of Aaron and the role of the rabbi and our role. Imagine you wake up one day and look at yourself in a mirror. What? Is that me? Where did that come from? Now, what do? Head to the drugstore, buy a turtleneck, hide in your room? No, you have to show it to someone. Who? Your mom? Your spouse? A doctor? No, to Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, or to one of his sons, the Kohanim. Now, wait, you're probably thinking, I have never so much as spoken to Aaron. He's the Kohen Gadol, the big kahuna, and now I have to show him this? How mortifying. So you go to Aaron and you sit down and he looks at you. I mean, he really looks at you. Indeed, the Torah uses the word ra'ah seeing over 24, that's over 24 times in the first 43 verses of our parsha, of our Torah portion. If it might be tzara'at, many people call this leprosy, but we're going to stick with tzara'at because it's really not leprosy, but we're going to stick with tzara'at, that white scaly affliction. Okay? He isolates you for a week. With no cell phone or TV, there is plenty of time for introspection. After 7 days, Aaron shows up to give you another careful looking over. If things haven't improved, back into quarantine you go. After another 6 days, Aaron returns to look at you again. What goes on at these meetings with Aaron? The Torah doesn't specify any special prayers or rituals, just lots and lots of looking. And why is Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, doing the looking? Why would he take time from his vital communal duties to see you? In short, why is he the right person for the job? Let's look at what we know about Aaron. When Moses was absent for 40 days, the people cry out for a new God to lead them. Aaron tells the men to break off the golden earrings in the ears of your wives, sons, and daughters and bring them to me. He probably hoped that the righteous women of Israel would never allow their husbands to break off their earrings to make an idol. But his plan is foiled when the men bring their own gold earrings. The next verse begins with a reflexive verb. They broke off on themselves the gold earrings that were on their own ears and brought them to Aaron. Aaron now tries a delaying tactic. There will be a festival to Hashem tomorrow. Alas, Moses comes down and is aghast at the sight. Aaron tries to calm things down. Let not the anger of my Lord burn. You know the people, that they are bent on mischief. Later, Aaron pleads for Miriam when she is stricken with tzara'at after saying something about Moses and his wife. Oh, my Lord, Moses prayed, lay no sin upon us, for we have done foolishly, and we have sinned. Do not let her be as one who is not born alive. When a plague breaks out after Korach's rebellion, Aaron takes incense and runs into the midst of the people, and he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Pirkei Avot explains Aaron's love of the people as follows. Hillel used to say, "Be of the disciples of Aaron, loving peace and pursuing peace, loving mankind and drawing them close to the Torah." But there is one more quality about Aaron that makes him the right person to see someone who may be suffering from tzara'at. Aaron has the capacity for abiding stillness. After the tragic passing of Aaron's 2 sons, the Torah describes Aaron's reaction in a single word. Vayidom. He was silent. When Aaron sits quietly with you in your distress, you know that you are loved. And as he sits there and deeply looks at you, concentrating on you entirely, you know that he is also deeply listening to you. In the book of The Good Listener, James Sullivan describes this kind of listening, and I quote, "When you give all your attention as though I were the only person in the world at that moment, you touch me very deeply. You have taken the trouble to enter into my world and to see things from my point of view. I cherish that. I feel understood. I feel cared for. You don't judge me or blame me. There isn't one of us who doesn't want to be understood and accepted in this way." Unquote. What can such listening achieve? A glimpse inside one's own soul and its potential. Did you ever wonder who actually reports the possibility of tzara'at? After all, the symptoms may be visible to only one person, the one who may have it. Tzara'at is probably a self-reported malady. You get up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror and something has drastically changed. Is that really me? So you go to the one person who might be able to see you, to the point that you can again see yourself and be yourself. And this is what God desires from us, that we be our true self before God. In the Torah's description of Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, The Torah tells us that 3 times each year each person shall appear before God. It is not enough just to show up. We must each bring our own special gifts. One should not appear before God empty-handed, rather, each with his own gift according to the blessing that your God has given you. What exactly is your own gift? It is you. It is your own unique self with which God has blessed you. Sometimes we might lose track of who we are. It is then that we need someone to look at us and to listen to us with full attention, without judgment, only love. Imagine having such a person in your life. Imagine being such a person in the lives of others. Now you may stand. And come on up. Okay.
Here.
This is fine. Okay. This Shabbat, we celebrate the sacred relationship between Rabbi Rachel Brown and our congregation. May we each be present for each other. May we listen to each other. May we see and be seen by each other. And together, may we always pursue peace. To celebrate this special time together, we should recite or maybe even sing the Shehechianu. And since I know that there are 2 other rabbis in the room, let's bring them on up and we'll sing together. Rabbi Unger and Rabbi Seeger, come on up, as they like to say.
Come on up.
I'll invite you all to sing along, but it's nice to have some other voices with us too. We thank the Holy One of Blessing for giving us life, for sustaining us, and bringing us to this very special occasion. And we'll sing the Tzivapik melody. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu plasman hazeh. One more time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu plasman hazeh.
Maybe on Monday. Maybe. That was beautiful. Thank you, Rabbi Lader. Wow. You know, I'm up here. Well, on Friday nights, I'm usually on Zoom. And on Shabbat mornings, we're usually downstairs. But I'm up here at least for high holidays and B'nai Mitzvah. And I have to say, I am really nervous right now. This is what a huge honor. I don't even. Thank you for being here tonight. It's a really big deal. I want to turn us to counting the Omer. By the sun, we're a little bit early, but we did light candles. We did say Kiddush. We had Shabbat dinner. We've davened the Friday night service. So we're going to consider that it's, time. I'm not allowed to say what day we're counting until after we say the blessing. So I'll just tell you, as I did in my speech, that yesterday and all day today, until now, we were counting the 19th day, and they go consecutively in order. We're on page 278 or 570 in the bigger prayer book. Let's just say the Hebrew on the page. And it's appropriate to stand up if you are able. Please rise. Hineni mukhan umzuman l'kayem mitzvat aseh shel Spirat HaOmer. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al Spirat HaOmer. Hayom esrim yom, shehem shnei shavuot v'shisha yamim ba'omer. Today is the 20th day, which is 2 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. We're getting there. Let's flip over to Aleinu. I know Aleinu in the big prayer book is on page 586, and you would think I would know what page it's on in this prayer book. Thank you. It's on page 282 in this prayer book. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tei gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kagoye haratzot, velo samanu kimishpechot hadama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Page 285 or 589 at the very top. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. 287 or 591. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. We turn our hearts and our attention now to people whom we've loved who are no longer with us. This week, we are observing the yahrzeit of Marvin Cohen, Faye Lader, Herbert Marshall Schwartz, Lucille Darren, and Esther Sacker. Our hearts are also with Tammy White, whose mother died this week. I don't know if Tammy is on Zoom with us, but our hearts are with her. Mourner's Kaddish, Kadisha Tome, is on page 294 or page 598. Please rise if you are able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala ubizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mivarach leolam u'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. You may be seated. We don't usually give announcements here, toward the end of the service. I'm wondering if anyone has an announcement that you feel like needs to be made. We're going to reconvene tomorrow morning at 9:30 for Torah study, and then at 11 o'clock for our morning service. Let's conclude with Adon Olam on page 321 or 625. And just so you know, dessert is downstairs, probably waiting for us, when we get there. It's probably not out yet because we don't want it to melt too much. But that's really Karen, that's all Karen. And when you see her, thank her again. Adon Olam. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra leit nasa b'chefso kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiflot hakol levado yimloch nora vehu haya vehu hoveh vehu yiyeh b'tifara vehu echad ve'en sheni lehamshilo lehachbira bili reshit bili tachlit ve'lohoz ve'hamisra vehu eli ve'chai goali ve'tzor chavli be'tzara vehu nisi umanosli menat kosi beyom ekra beyado hafid ruchi be'tishan be'aira v'im ruchi geviati Adonai li ve'lo ira. Shabbat shalom and mazal tov. It's a big deal for all of us.